I'm Adam from Northwest Slackline. I want to talk to you about slackline anchor slings. So if you shop at any sort of climbing store, you've probably seen these sort of slings before. They're nice. They're bar tack zones. They're really strong. But they're not super cheap, and they're usually only available in these short lengths. So if you need to wrap a really fat tree and you want to have a sling that's, I don't know, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20 feet long, if you could even find one that's pre-sewn, it's probably going to be too expensive. So a handier method is just to take a length of 1-inch tubular webbing, make a big loop out of it. So I don't know if you can see, but this is just one loop, and then tie in what we call a water knot, which is just an overhand knot that back traces itself. So this is a sling I've used a lot, and it's still got a lot of life left in it. And here's a new piece of webbing. So in order to make a sling out of this piece of webbing, you just tie an overhand knot, and then I just take the other end and I would back trace the knot. So I would just take this piece and back trace all the way through here. And when you're doing that, you got to make sure that you leave enough tail sticking out, because over time this tail will very slowly slip through. So as you tension this, 400 or 500 times, several inches will disappear off the tail. So periodically you need to recheck. And the weakest part of a piece of webbing that's been knotted is the knot itself. And the tighter the bend radius, the weaker it makes it. So often I'll take, I don't know, an 8 or 10-inch piece of extra webbing, usually a different color too, because I have that aesthetic flair, and slip it in. So here's one that I'm in the process of making. I've just taken another piece of blue webbing and I've slipped it right into the knot. So that increases the bend radius, makes the knot a little bit stronger. And so, all you gotta do is really dress this and just sort of pull it tight. And then the first time you actually rig a slackline on this, it will be pretty much welded into place. So with a properly tied knot, it's gonna reduce the strength of the line to about 65, maybe 75% of rated. But if you have it doubled over in a loop configuration, then the line is theoretically rated for twice its normal strength. So if you're taking this loop like this, and if we pretend I'm a tree, you're wrapping it around a tree like so, and you're clipping a carabiner through it, even with the knot, assuming you don't have the knot right on the carabiner, if you're clipping it like this, with that knot, it should still probably rate, I'd guess up to 3,000 pounds would theoretically be safe, because it should be rated for almost double, like 70% of 8,000 pounds would be the break strength of this. So really safe. Like I said, I've rigged 150 foot plus lines on just knotted, water knotted loops. So they're very useful. Go make some.